However, the princess stops. What the fuck? That's weird! Hey, what's up you guys? And welcome back to another episode of The Letter. Now, I know we progressed some bits with Rebecca last time, but this time I want to progress a little bit more. Maybe do 2 chapters in one video. Like, finish Rebecca, go on to the next one. Alright? So, without further ado, Godformatie with The Letter. Hopefully we can finish this because I really want to finish this. I really want to find out the story. See you guys at the end of the video. Yeah, tell him that he's being possessed by, or like an apparition is like surrounding him. You know, apparition is like ghost, like the poltergeist, but not really like poltergeist. Poltergeist more like a house, but the apparition, hit my mic. Apparition taking control over the person. You know what I mean? Yeah, someone should tell him.
Becca, where'd you go off to?
Hey, who's calling me? If you're done here, let's go. I'll get you back to the city. Oh, great.
Shouldn't I be the one asking you that?
Becca,
Yeah.
I've been waiting here the whole time since that mess in the hall. I told you I hate parties like...
And before that, where have you been the entire evening? Be that way. Fine. Suit yourself.
Yeah, suit yourself. No more words. After everything I've seen and heard tonight, I'm already too exhausted for those. So without speaking any further, I simply walk past him and stomp over his car. Huh? Stomp over to his car. Literally over his car. Because it's a difference. Over to his car, over his car. Because if you're going to stomp over his car, you're literally walking on top of his car.
Wait, Becca.
Yeah, please. Clarify.
Ashton, if you're just going to waste my time again...
Becca, listen. I don't know how else...
That much is obvious. Why don't you just take the whole bloody night? Go on. I can wait until next year. Better yet, why don't you just keep it all to yourself like you always do? It's not like...
Rebecca, will you hear me out first? I honestly don't know how else to put this. I'm aware your parents have some kind of history with Hannah Wright, and somehow you're friends with her. But you should stay away from these people for now. Especially the husband.
What does that mean?
Who? Luke?
Do you have some information? Come on, share. Share with us.
Yeah, he's bad news.
What does he have to do with this? Care to explain your reasons? They both pretty good suggestions, though. I want to go with this.
What does he have to do with this?
It's not a question without merit. Though the man can be quite abrasive, sometimes downright nasty with his words, you can't simply accuse anyone by virtue of that alone. And it is an accusation no matter how much Ashton's phrasing downplays their meaning. You're just gonna give me that, plenty. Just one word, plenty. Right.
Just trust me on this, Becca.
Don't you Becca me. That doesn't answer my question at all, Ash. You haven't answered any of my questions, in fact. What's really going on here?
Complicated. One mistake and you guys could...
Could what?
So, we're back here again. More secrets? Why can't you be honest to me for once?
He's a dangerous man to be around, Rebecca.
Really? Care to elaborate on that? Because from what I've seen, the only dangerous thing about that guy is his audacity to cheat on his wife.
Damn, she really put it out there.
Why are you defending him?
Yeah, why?
Who said anything about defending anyone?
God, she's really upset.
You know, I'm getting really worried about you guys. First it's Zach, and now you're...
Oh, you're worried? You care? Really now? If you care, then where were you the entire party?
That doesn't matter right now. You know I can't simply...
Forget it, Ashton.
God, she's really upset.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to talk about this anymore tonight. Speak to me when you're ready to stop spouting the same barefaced lies.
Ashton jerks back as if I've struck him. Damn, he looks shocked.
Fine.
Oh god, we're doing the fine thing again. Fine, 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 fine.
You can borrow the couch. You haven't been forgiven. We're still going to have that talk, believe me. But I'm not about to send you out on another drive looking like that. It's late. Go get some rest.
Where are you going? I thought...
You go ahead upstairs. I need to contact Professor Andrew.
Andrew? Why would you... Oh, no. Please. Is this that thing Isabella said this morning? Again?
What? I've forgotten. What did she tell us again? I don't remember.
I already gave her my word, Becca. I'll look into this BRC crap. No need to drag the old guy into it.
Who is Professor Andrew?
Ashton, do you really think I still give a shite after that stunt you pulled tonight?
Oh, she's pulling the shite thing again.
No, but this is...
Look, I don't care. There are weird things happening around here. And yes, it's Isabella's brand of weird. Ghostly voices, strange sounds, and a bloody woman sitting at the back of my car. You don't have to believe me. And I no longer have the patience to convince you, so just leave me be, Ashton.
You really sure?
Yeah, damn, we gotta get to the bottom of this.
What?
That there was something? That you've been, seeing things?
Yes, I'm very, very certain.
Yes!
Now go. And you better not break anything in there. The last time I let you stay over, it was that statuette Belle gave me. You haven't even replaced that one.
Oh, we're finding Professor Andrew. Alright.
Professor Andrew?
Rebecca? It's late. What can I do for you?
I know, I'm sorry, but this is a bit urgent.
Urgent, you can't wait till the morning? Damn, he was probably sleeping. Or doing something else.
Actually, I was wondering if I could ask you to do me a favor.
Why did it turn black all of a sudden? Sunday. It's Sunday, Sunday. We gotta get down on Sunday. No, we never get down on Sunday, no. Sunday is for sleeping and relaxing. That's what Sunday is for. Hey! Hey! The professor's not that bad looking. Come to think of it, except for the beard, you know.
Professor...
Rebecca!
Rebecca! Yeah!
Didn't I say long ago you can drop the professor?
Yeah, you
You
see.
know I can't possibly do that.
He got the hots for you, that's what it is.
Even if I can, it feels disrespectful to call you by your name alone.
Both you and Ashton never listen to this old man. Kids these days.
What does Ashton have to do with it?
All right. But just for today, since you're doing me a huge favor, Andrew.
What is that favor, by the way?
I guess you simply can't have it all, even at this old age.
Yeah, he is old, man.
But pleasantries aren't what we're here for, yes? You mentioned you needed a permit.
Yes, sir, if that's okay with you.
More than fine. Anything in pursuit of knowledge, as they say.
Luxbourne City Archives. What is she? She wants to try and find out more information about this ghostesses thing. Go away, Candy Crush! Jesus! Okay. Hey! I see you! It's like it wants me to play it. On a gloomy Sunday morning, the library is especially empty. Well, I would expect on a Sunday. Geez, people just want to stay home, man. Unless you're a bookworm. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, I also like books. I got a book right here, so it doesn't take much time for me to find what I need. Microfiche of old newspapers, long kept in special storage cabinets at the far end of the restricted section. The year is 1620s and beyond, before the city of Luxbourne even exists in the records, when the mansion has just been built, and Anselm is nothing more but a small, sleepy hamlet near a river. A lot of pieces are missing, days, sometimes several consecutive weeks, without any records remaining. Often it goes on for years. Troublesome, but that is I'm lucky enough to find anything at all considering how far I'm looking back. Can't be picky now. Can't waste time mulling over what record keepers of the old could have done to make this a breeze for me.
I can still work with this.
Oh! There are snippets. Little mentions of the family that once settled in the house here and there. The usual singing of praises for the couple who helped brought up what was once a tiny settlement into a buzzing town. Nothing substantial, nothing I didn't know before. It continues on like this for a good while, until I come by the years after their deaths. The people of Ansem might have loved Lord William and Lady Elizabeth Ermengarde, mourned their passing and held them in high esteem in the years after. But it was their daughter that was remembered fondly by the townspeople. If her parents built this town, Lady Charlotte was the one who made it prosper. Remarkable, considering it was a period of recovery from a bout of plague that killed half the town's population, including her parents. Alright. What's surprising, though, free at last, heir puts a stop to local slave trade. Apparently, her time also marked more than superficial changes to the place. She moved things, changed laws, altered old customs and traditions. If they were done on a woman's whimsy, it doesn't say, but she seems capable enough for more than that. The gist of it is the town she rebuilt. It's what eventually grew to become Loxbourne City, while the nearby Ansem village remained as it was, a relic of the old. A frown swiftly forms in my face.
So, why is there a need to hide this?
Yeah. One by one, I tried to recall every lesson I've gone through, every book, paper, and journal I've read. None of those ever mentioned this. It's always the lord and the lady of the house, their endearing child, always an afterthought to those anecdotes, the one who always took her life in the end. Never someone who restored a town from the brink of collapse or brought new ideas to it. Is it because she's a woman?
That pisses me off.
Hey, let's not go there, right? Granted, not everything is sunshine and rainbows. Not all aspects of her can be considered admirable. But this is history. Some parts are bound to naturally delve into unpleasant territory, whether I like it or not. Well, you find that in all history, basically. I mean, we gotta accept the truth. But, you know, now it's not like that. Everyone is equal now, and especially women and men. I mean, women can now be construction workers and business owners and whatever, you know. What I find really interesting is that in this picture, she's stopping this slave auction and the girl has got long black hair. Anyways, Luxbourne witch burns. Witch hunts, for example, became common near the end of her life, which would have been completely unremarkable and might have gone to become a mere footnote in history if it didn't involve Lady Charlotte and the very slave she saved. It caused quite a stir, enough to leave almost a week's worth of clippings. The girl was eventually burned, condemned by an entire town, at the word of Lady Charlotte alone. Damn, so she freed a slave and then had her burned for witchcraft. Shit. Wow. I can understand now why the witch was angry and is haunting everyone that comes in the house. But this doesn't really have anything to do with this curse, does it? Unless that woman following us and the slave are the same person. Yeah! Now you're putting it together. A tale of revenge? How cliché. However, with the lack of accurate photographs, it's impossible to tell. Maybe if I squint, the illustration would start resembling her. But in my field, it doesn't work that way. It shouldn't work that way. I'll be the laughing stock of the community.
This isn't going anywhere.
That's for sure. Mentally exhausted, I take a careful step away from the screen, pressing a palm to my tired eyes. The lack of ample light in this area doesn't help. A headache already threatens to form at the back of my head, yet I'm nowhere near figuring things out. This is simply too much to take in all at once.
I should have asked for someone's help.
That's for sure. Now I'm at a dead end. I start gathering everything around me and placing them back in their respective envelopes for storage. The motion's no longer new after volunteering here a number of times. I didn't make much fuss anyway, considering the lack of materials available to begin with. I'll have to look somewhere else. To where remains unknown, though. But just as I'm about to slip the last of the slides in, something catches my attention. My hand pauses, the microfiche halfway through its protective sleeve. This is one of the few I've set aside without taking a careful look at it. It seems like a gossip column at first glance, but upon closer look... Candy Crush, oh my word! Please! I slide it back to the reader, gently turning the dials in search of the page. It takes some time, but once the image becomes clear... Ermengarde here announces Beth Rotel. I think they mean a betrothal. Beth Rotel. I think they mean betrothal. They must have had this drawing commissioned for this announcement. I don't doubt it. The details are far more intricate, their likeness likely closer to how they might have appeared at the time. They're both recognizable this way, closer to those paintings I've seen in the mansion. However, it's the man standing beside her, Edward Godfrey, according to the article that caught my attention previously. Her first cousin, and eventually her fiancé. Yeah, back then cousins got married, didn't they? Yeah. That's right, they did get married to their cousin. Sorry. I think. I'm sure they did. Now you don't marry your cousins, okay? Well, you shouldn't marry your cousins. I mean, blood relatives. I don't want to mess with that. Don't mess with that. But back then, you would marry your cousins, like, to keep the bloodline, you know, pure, I guess. Her first cousin, eventually her fiancé. Maybe it's the posture, the manner in which he holds himself. Or maybe it's the shape of his eyes, though I can't be too certain about that until I've gotten a better reference. Nevertheless, there is a resemblance. He looks eerily like... My head snaps back, glowering at whoever's running in the floor above. Any day I'd march upstairs and reprimand whoever it is.
This is the library, for heaven's sake.
God, that freaked me the fuck out. I thought it was the ghost. But now isn't the time. I've gotten what I need. Without wasting any minute, I hit the machine's print button for a copy of the page, while my other hand moves to put everything back into storage. A ragged exhale slips from me. Relief perhaps, or maybe this is already exhaustion. Regardless, soon I'm closing my eyes as I wait for the printer to finish, if only to stave off a headache building up from everything. Why? Why are you humming the Bridge Coming Down song? London Bridge is coming down, yes I know, but why you humming it? The kid is humming. Why? However, the printer stops. What the fuck? That's weird. She's also humming My Fair Lady. We're gonna get to see the ghost. Yes! A chilly brush of air behind my back, brief enough for something sickening to suddenly lodge itself in my throat while I take in my surroundings. It's that suffocating sensation again, creeping to every part of me, crawling under my skin, draining me little by little of any strength. From that day in the mansion, from that brief moment at the school, without delay I grab the papers and make a quick beeline for the door. Woo! Jesus Christ, she's on the ceiling! My whole body freezes!
What are you doing, Miss Pink?
No! Don't talk in the kid's voice! I hold my breath, not daring to make any noise. For a little while, only the sound of papers crumpling under my grasp fills the room. The excitement from earlier gone instantly. Whew! There's a lot of reading. Replaced by a cold, seeping dread spreading throughout my limbs. But more than the fear is the anger. It pains me to hear her using my own student's voice against me. And more than once I believed it was really her. Motherfucker! She has no right!
Why don't you play with me?
No! Although she hasn't made a move, if there isn't a wall behind me, I'll probably take a step back. Anything to put a distance between us, no matter how small, as long as I'm out of her reach. Talk to her! Come on, let's find out what the story is! But I steel myself, because if I do fall back, turn away from her, I'll be left with no way out. I'm not dying here.
You think you scare me?
No, I can't be scared by nothing except for Ashton.
Miss Pink, don't be so rude.
No!
I'm waiting.
What are you waiting for?
I'm not afraid of you, you spook.
You spook!
This is one Scotswoman. You
One
won't
Scotswoman.
get into my grave without a fight.
Without a fight!
Come at me.
Come at me! Come at me, bruh! I expected she'll lunge, prove to me what a monster she is. Instead, all she gives me a smile, twisted and gnarled. It's as if time has crawled to a stop at the sight of it. A split-second decision. Before I know it, my body shifts. Eyes closing in anticipation, hand grabbing whatever's solid enough on the nearby table and hurling at her. Ah, Jesus! I don't bother looking. If whatever I threw hit its mark, I run as fast as my legs can carry me, despite my heart threatening to burst out of my chest. But in this maze of bookshelves, with the whole place almost void of people. Yes? Head for the door. Head upstairs. Head for the door! If there's one, is it out of this room, out of this place, as far as anyone can get from her? I can think about the rest of what I can do after I'm outside, when there are other people I can ask for help. When she's not chasing after me like this, there's no hesitation in my steps as I race for the restricted section's door, head downstairs and barrel straight for the library's exit, towards safety, in a desperate bid for my life. Library rules be damned! I can no longer hear her behind me, but I'm not taking any chances. A breath almost escapes me as I near the door. A little more, when out of nowhere, a library cart careens from a blind corner and slams to my side. My back hits the floor with a hard thud, the impact completely knocking the breath out of me. The copper tang of blood gradually spreads over my tongue as I fight to get my bearings back. I force myself to move, even with the excruciating pain coursing through my limbs. The exit is almost there. If only I can. But there's no moment's respite. The thing is, I know there's heavy weight atop me and cold digits slide around my neck tight like a vice, pressing, closing and leaving me gasping for air. Though my blurred vision, I can only make out the table gleam that spikes in her eyes as she leaps over my body and her grip on my throat grows tight. Desperation kicks in. My nails stick into her wrist as I struggle against her firm grip, trying to pry her fingers away. Let go! Let go! Let go, you bitch! What's happening? Oh shit, it's one of these things again! Hey! Ah! Whoa, what is happening? Oh shit, I'm dead!
Somebody help me.
Am I dead? Game over? Do we oh yeah, okay. I don't know what the hell, man. Keep the slider within the green by tilting. Oh my god, it's this shit, man. This is why I need a phone. Go, you fucking bitch. Did we survive? Did we survive? Yes, we survived. I don't think twice. My limbs are moving on their own before what I did could fully register. My brain and my lungs could together. Behind me, she lets out a cry, sharp, loud, and thunderous against the empty walls of the library. But the fear her wails bring compares nothing to the relief washing over me when I finally make it out. Woo! Shit! My knees buckle as soon as my feet hits the pavement. Its surface cold and hard against my skin. I've only been in there for a few hours, about 1 or 2 probably. I don't know anymore, it feels like an eternity all the same. My breathing hasn't slowed down yet, and I don't expect it to after going through that. I probably look the most undignified creature on a Sunday morning right now, out of breath, disheveled, slumped here with a bloodied lip and all. but at present I simply can't bring myself to care, even when a few passerby start giving me a strange looks. Stare at me all you want, I don't give a single shite. I'm alive. I'm safe. This isn't the end yet, but I'm safe. And inside my bag is something that could get us out of this mess. Nothing definite yet. I don't want to get my hopes up, but it's still something. If Isabella is here, I'm sure she'll feel the same. She'll even be the first one who'll put her faith on it. I let it ease my worries regardless and do as he asks. Because this too is another triumph for us. One less thing to worry about. Yes! We finished Rebecca's story. We're on ASHTON now. Woo! I think now it's ASHTON and then it's Luke. Luke is the last story, I'm sure. I think so. So, without further ado, we're going to continue. Alright. Parties have never been really my thing. They're always such a hassle and take so much time off my day. He's at the party now, isn't he?
Welcome everyone.
Yes, he's at the party. Alright, that means we're not too far behind. Yes, there's Rebecca.
ASHTON?
Yeah, it's me.
Becca, what are you doing here?
Look at his face. Becca, what are you doing here?
I was invited.
Alright.
Really? I had no idea you were friends with us. I still do. I'm just here on behalf of a friend.
A necessary lie. I can't bring my own friends into this any further than what they've found themselves in. Because if Luke Wright so much as harms a hair on either Zach's or Rebecca's heads, there will be hell to pay. Worrying about Isabella's brief dealings with him is stressing in itself already. Ooh, is he jealous? Eh? Is he jealous? It would tarnish his glorious reputation, and he values appearances more than anything. That doesn't necessarily mean he isn't capable of it. More than in fact, and on the off chance he does something, I wouldn't be responsible for my actions. Yeah.
That's rare. Do you have someone with you then?
Nope, just me. I won't be staying long.
Oh, well, if that's the case, maybe you and I can... ASHTON?
Sorry, Becca. I need to... There's something I need to check for a bit. I'll talk to you later. Do you have a ride home?
No, I had to take a cab here. My car wouldn't start this afternoon. But what about...
What the shit is going on here?
I told you to get that old thing checked before, didn't I? You can head back with me after this. Anyway, I gotta go. See ya. Be careful.
Hey, be careful! About what
I don't want to draw attention to myself either, at least not until he's given me proper reason to spoil his little party.
Thank you for the invite, Anna.
It's the chief!
Husband still missing, I see.
I should be saying the same of your darling Rochelle, Lee. The doctors are...
For now, the best I can do is wait and remain inconspicuous, especially with Chief here, whose motives are dubious at best. If it means having to pretend I don't know Zach and Rebecca... If it means having to pretend I don't know Zach or Rebecca, or facing myself to rub elbows with people I barely know, let alone like, then so be it. I can't involve anyone. Wandering is out of the question as well, when there are guards and civvies stationed here and there. Sure, getting past them is something I could do with ease, but I'd rather not right now, when I'm one of the few snooping and roaming about. It'd be best to try and do so once there's a crowd of people.
Yes, well, what about Luke?
Yes, what about Luke? What about him? By the time the party is in full swing, night has fallen, yet there still isn't a Luke Wright in sight. The man can be quite ostentatious, but this, frankly, I'm impressed. I don't even know how many hors d'oeuvres I've already stuffed my face with. That looks good! I'm really liking the eggy things. I think I'm gonna make myself those eggy things just now and have my cake.
You would catch his eye a lot better if you wore nicer clothes, don't you think?
Oh shit, is he listening in?
Didn't realize the housewarming was going to be this fancy. I would have gone with a nice dress if I knew.
Nothing to be worried about then. She's probably even more careful with appearances than her own husband, having grown up with the spotlight focused on her. Yet even knowing that, the anxiety stays. Has been here since the party started. I hear a faint... Oh my God. I hear a voice faintly whispering. Is it my imagination? I knew I heard a faint voice. She's right there. She's by Rebecca. And Hannah's looking at her. She stands there dark-haired and dirty, sticking out like a sore thumb. Even so, no one seems to notice. Although she's looking away from me, her mere existence here strives, disturbs. A sense of tunnel vision binds while I stand stock still and gape at her. Like my life depends on making sure she stays where she is. Before I could figure out what happened, she's gone. A quick scan of the room yields no sign of her. The party continues as if nothing's amiss. I'm not really one to judge, but I'm sure someone like that would not have been allowed in a fancy thing like this. Is there something in the food then, that I'm starting to see things? It could have been the wine though. I'm every bit as sober as when I first stopped off my car. The horse devourer? But why would anyone want to do that? He thinks it's all an illusion. No! Ashton, it's real! Why would Luke Wright want to do that? He's fishy, but I couldn't see why he'd ever think he'd be a good idea to lace the food he'd serve in his party with someone like Chief Lee on his guest list.
About damn time.
Yeah, Lucas, yeah!
Good evening, ladies and gents. Enjoying the party? I hope I'm not too late in welcoming you all to the Wright Mansion.
I've been tailing this guy for a while now. Before that, I heard stories from previous officers who tackled this case, none of which are pleasant. Mind, I'm not counting the incident with Professor Clark, yet pleasant is glossing over the gravity of it. While Wright's good at covering whatever shady stuff he's doing, he's shown to be a really rotten guy. At least that's the case when he thinks none of his peers are around to judge him. I've lost track of how many counts of verbal abuse and harassment cases the guy could be pinned with. Fuck, he even tried to make a move on Isabella back in the open house, right in front of his wife. Standing in the same room as him doesn't make me want to punch him any less. Actually, the urge is stronger, but protocols. My case, first and foremost. My own opinion of the man shouldn't get ahead of my purpose here. If I want to put him in his place, it should be in court, with all proper charges filed against him. And I'll only be able to do that once I gather enough evidence to pin this bastard down.
Welcome one and all to our humble abode.
Are you feeling ill, Rochelle?
Oh yes, here comes the dramatics again. Let's do
Perhaps
this.
you need to...
Yes, but I'm not a guest who's here for a good time. I need to focus on him even though this whole sorry tale. So I wait, I listen, I observe. Interesting, isn't it though? That's the chief inspector's wife.
Up off Astral Deluxe City. Baggers watch out, can't beat me. Looking for trouble? Better not lie. I'm a cool dude, pretty fly for an Asian guy.
Frey, where are you right now?
Now that's a tone I didn't expect from him at this hour.
This is why I won't ever drink myself senseless.
What was that?
Nothing, Chief. A pleasant morning to you too.
There's nothing pleasant in the morning. Anyway, where are you? I told you millions of times before to keep your lines open.
Just woke up, sir. As awesome as it is to hear your voice this morning, it really is early. If you could give me a few minutes just to wake myself up, that'd be swell.
No need for that. This won't take long.
Is something wrong? Am I needed at the precinct ASAP?
Oh no, everything's good over there. Just look, kid. Frey. Don't take this personally, alright? You're off the Luxborn firm case. Starting today.
Wait, no. What? Are you kidding, Chief? Is this one of your practical jokes again? The Temps won't say anything about it, but
It's not that. They're orders. From the higher-ups.
From the higher-ups. Ah, the higher-ups, yes, my favorite word. Since when did the higher-ups ever cared about what the Criminal Investigation Department did? As far as I could tell, they don't give a hoot if CID is filled with cold cases, as long as we keep the spending low.
you can't just drop this on me. You can't just take me off like that.
Yes, I can. And I'm sorry, Ashton. You're a good detective. One of the best I've seen in years, but...
3 years, Chief. 3 years!
3 years since that anonymous tech leak blew up. Since Luke Wright's name was openly linked to several nasty dealings within Luxborn's corporate world, some of them involving deaths. Jesus. 3 years and I was the only one who made it this far, made much progress that officers with more experience weren't able to do when they handled this case. Just within a year and with barely any help from the damn brass at that. Of course I'll be pissed.
Do you know what would have happened if I didn't work my ass off on this thing? If I didn't dedicate a whole year of my time on it? It would have gone cold, like every fucking case Luke Wright has been linked to. I saved this from getting thrown into the archives, sir. I'm getting close. If you could just...
I'm fully aware of what you've done, Frey, but the Commissioner hasn't been happy with your progress. Still too slow by their standards.
Too slow? Well, what about those reports I filed? I've documented every freaking thing for them. I've given you every important lead I can gather. Isn't that enough?
They need results, not a bunch of research papers. Not one baseless assumption after another. Concrete proof, Frey. I'm really sorry. They've already made a decision. They're going to pass this on to someone who's been in the force longer. Someone who has more experience.
Someone who has more experience?
They meant nothing by it, but you're still too young to work on a case this big.
Chief, I've already done more than what those old farts ever did behind their desks. All of it, within just a year of being assigned to this.
Watch your language, Frey. Those are your superiors,
I'm not some damn rookie fresh out of training. I'm as qualified as they are.
Futile, I know it is. They'd never say it within my earshot, but from the very minute I stepped into their precinct, the lot of them had underestimated me, from their stares alone to the assignments I get. To them I'm just a kid, too young, too green, too inexperienced. And once they pull that card on me, every argument I have gets thrown out the window. No matter how logical it is, how much I've accomplished, what the records say, or the amount of work I've put in every investigation they've thrown my way.
We're all aware of your skills, kid. You wouldn't have that badge and rank if you weren't good enough. However, this case is just not for you. Too high profile, too risky to put a good officer like you in harm's way.
Don't I get a second chance? You said it yourself. I'm a good detective. It'll just be a matter of time before we can close this.
It doesn't matter what I think, Frey. You're off the case, and that's final. I expect all related files and documents on my desk by Monday morning. And don't even try to go touch anything. I know how hard-headed and determined you are.
Chief, please. A few more weeks. I'll have the proper evidence left on your desk by then. I swear it won't take longer than that.
Fred, it's too late, boy. I've already informed the other officers. You aren't to be allowed access until you've been given a new assignment. Help, just keep out of the precinct, Frey. Take the weekend off.
Seriously, Chief, is this about last night? If this is about me being at that party, I have a good reason for...
You were at the party.
It makes me pause. His wary tone, the sudden careful note in his voice. Slowly a frown forms in my face, my eyebrows knitting together in confusion. Much as I hate to say this about my own boss, there's also suspicion in it. Hard not to think of it in that way, seeing how he acted around Hannah Wright last night. Is he worried? Why should he be? Everyone who's anyone was invited. I didn't doubt for a second why he received an invite, even if his presence was questionable. There's something wrong and I've unintentionally walked into...
Yes, Chief, I was. For a good reason. What were you doing there? I know we don't have a strict rule against attending functions, but that was...
He coughs and it almost sounds like he's choking on his own excuses, lies.
Chief Harvey, about last night with the...
Why does it matter, Frey? This isn't about that.
Why does it matter? Why does it matter? I'll recite the whole damn oath we've taken upon being sworn into service if I can, but at this point, it seems too late to remind him of that. He has probably already moved from serving and protecting people to serving and protecting his own interests. Damn it. I suspected the upper brass of this, even the lower rank subordinates in the force, but from my own boss. Shit. No wonder that leak didn't lead anywhere. Someone closer might have been pulling the strings. I might have been set up to fail long before the fucking case had been assigned to me. But I don't want to just give this up. I don't want to believe I've wasted an entire year for this. I don't want this to be the kind of news to tell Professor Clark of all those promises I've given the man.
I just want to know, sir, at the party, with Luke and Hannah Wright, you were...
Monday, Detective Inspector. First thing in the morning. Every copy of the files you have, I want to see it all on my table, understood?
Yes, sir.
He cuts the line as soon as the words are out. Damn it, man. You're off the case, Frey, just like that. Shit! 3 fucking years. The concern I expect from her when I turn isn't there, however. Instead, she looks, well... The storm I left brewing last night, it's right there on her face, ready to be unleashed.
When is it ever a good time for you? You're always so busy with everything now. Now I find you here, sneaking out without even bothering with a proper goodbye. Not even a word. Really, I'm starting to think you're just keeping me around for my couch and my cooking.
Becca, it's not what you're thinking. I wasn't planning on sneaking out. I was going to say goodbye. I just had to take this call. Although, I'm not gonna lie, couch is great. 10 out of 10. Would sleep again.
Stop it with the jokes, Ashton. I'm not in the mood.
Are you still mad about last night? Okay, of course you're still mad. But whatever happened last night, I really am sorry. I'll apologize as many times as you want. If you want, I'd even kneel or something.
Ashton, an apology is nice and all, but that's not what I wanted to hear from you today.
Alright, fine, okay. Where do you want to start?
Oh, I don't know. I've honestly lost track of it by your 3rd trip to the buffet table.
I wasn't... The drive up there took a bit. Can you blame me if I wanted to grab some appetizers?
Oh, come on, Ash! For the whole evening? For the whole party? Please don't tell me that's all you did, because I've never known you as someone who pigs out. You even took great lengths to avoid me. Should I also mention how you ignored Zach?
Poor Zach, I don't even know if he's still alive. I couldn't even look her in the eye. It wasn't that I wanted to avoid them, I did it to keep Zach safe. I did it to keep Zach safe, to keep Rebecca safe, just in case. Client or family friend, it was still a party hosted by a person of interest, by a man accused years ago of murdering a person's wife to get what he wanted. What the fuck? What the hell? Now it's all coming out! But then Chief showed up, Hannah Wright happened, and Luke Wright just can't be bothered to die peacefully somewhere. All of a sudden, none of my original reasons mattered. If I was found out right then and there, hell, if Zach and Rebecca's connection with me was found out, who knows what might have happened. Stretch the truth, insist it's confidential. Stretch the truth. I really feel you gotta be honest with her, Ashton. Come on. Obviously, I couldn't say, hey, Becca, you know the rights? Yeah, they're suspected to be ringleaders of a crime syndicate and shit like that. Protocol or otherwise, there are so many things I'm not allowed to tell thee.
I mentioned it, didn't I? I was there on behalf of someone else. I was on business, Becca. I wasn't there to have a good time.
You can't even spare a single second to mingle?
What was I supposed to say? Hi, fancy meeting you here. Would you like to dance? By the way, those appetizers were really good. You should try some. Like that. I've got a boss guy breathing down my neck. I don't exactly have the luxury of doing as I please.
This much is true. My reasons for being at the party too, however, Chief's presence last night made a lot of things different. Approaching them was out of the question when there was someone watching, a person who knew the reason why I was there. It turned out to be a good call on my part, but for someone who's already angry beyond reason, everything will only sound like an excuse.
Cut the shite.
Yeah, there she goes with the shite thing again.
I saw you stuffing your face with the deviled eggs, while your own boss is off on the other side of the room. You didn't even exchange a word or a glance with him either. In fact, I think you're also avoiding the man. Just say you don't want to talk about it instead of lying to my face.
I do feel guilty still. We've already been down this road. This is something I've done so repeatedly in the past, something she's heard from me more times than all of my fingers could count. Something I'll just have to get over with at this moment.
I'm sorry, you know that, Becca. I really, really am. I wouldn't do this shit if I didn't have a good reason to.
And you know that I don't like you lying to me! If you can't tell the truth, just don't say anything and shut your gob! I swear, Ashton Frey, you are just so dense! I'm so angry. I can't even bear to look at you right now because I swear I'll knock you right off your block. I mean, what good reason could you have to act like an antisocial asshole? The only time you did talk to me was to rail on me about Luke. What was that all about? Were you somehow expecting me to just accept everything as it is?
You really shouldn't go near that man, Becca.
Why? Because you don't trust him? I wonder if you actually trust anyone. Aside from the three of us, Zach, Isabella, and myself, do you even have any other friends? If you're perfectly fine with that, then go ahead. No one is stopping you. But don't expect me to share the same views. I can have a life of my own. Friends that I don't necessarily share with you. I'm an adult, Ashton. And I can make my own bloody decisions. I sure as hell can choose the people I want to let into my life.
I trust Zach, I trust Isabella, and I trust you, Rebecca. So why can't you trust me on this? You need to stay away from that man. Because he's... I really wish I could tell you.
What was that saying Isabella mentioned before? A liar is a brother of a thief. People who will look at me now will probably say I'm a hair's breadth away from being a criminal. Z-Man said something like that once, a few years into our friendship. I laughed it off back then, but now... They're probably right. Little by little I'm becoming the very kind of person I hate. How ironic. The silence afterwards brings an even heavier air between us. Something Rebecca thankfully doesn't allow to linger more than necessary.
I suppose you have to go now, huh?
Yep.
Back to your case again?
I don't really have to. I have no case. As far as the job is concerned, I have the weekend off until I have to report to Chief on Monday. Although I don't want to just throw in the towel on this. Orders are orders. This isn't like the movies. I don't get to say fuck off, throw my gun and badge at him, become some vigilante, save the day and get my job back. I'd rather get my ass thrown in jail than do any of that. But it's also not in my nature to sit still and do nothing. It'll drive me crazy if I just idle about. Besides, there's someone who has to know about this whole Luke Wright thing.
Yeah, I need to go talk to Professor Clark. And there's something else I need to look into.
Doesn't she go to see Professor Clark this morning? Like, this morning?
Yes. What else can it be?
It's not another case. It's something else. That issue Isabella mentioned yesterday morning. I'm sure you remember. You were there.
Well, at least you're not neglecting all your friends.
Becca, I promised her I'll...
She doesn't wait for me to finish. Whoa, Jesus Christ! She slammed that door pretty hard. With the roll of her eyes, she turns around and shuts the door in my face. I have no idea what I've said this time, but...
Probably deserve that.
We'll just have to fix this some other time. By then, her temper's sure to have cooled off significantly. Now, I can't laze around. Gotta attend to things that matter more. Professor Clark first, deliver the bad news, then that issue with BRC and Isabella. Maybe I'll also drop by Zach's. Check on him, hear what he has to say. Yes, also read that damn letter. Only Zach is not there!
Hey, are you...
Anyway, was that Becca with you? You both sound like Mama and Papa when they fight. You're awfully loud. If we get another memo from the landlady, I'm asking the guard to ban you from ever entering this place.
Me? Becca's the one almost shouting.
Yeah, well, she lives here. You don't. You have no excuse. You're the suspicious-looking person.
That's true.
Thanks. Glad at least one person appreciates how I pretty up this place.
Don't flatter yourself. This place would be so much better without having to see your face every...
Belle.
About yesterday, Ash. The things we talked about. Do you think we can take a look at it today?
We? I never said you're coming with me. Don't worry. I didn't forget about it. You'll be the first to know if I find anything.
No, I want to go with you. I'll be ready in a few. This won't take long.
Isabella, you really don't have to. I can handle it on my own. You'll just...
I won't get in the way, I promise. Besides, maybe I can help. You know, if there are files you want to check.
I don't like what she's implying. It's true LPD's having a hard time with this, but taking Isabella with me, it's out of the question. Under normal circumstances.
You're the one who's going to get in trouble if you do that.
You said it yourself. You need information. And I can help you get that. And it's not like it matters anymore. I just don't want to stand around doing nothing today.
Alright, 5 minutes.
Right.
What? You're
do this.
timing me?
Yeah.
Well, I can't wait forever. I'm a very busy guy. 4 minutes and 45 seconds, Isabella.
I hate you so much.
That's fine, you can hate me.
4 minutes and 30 seconds, 29, 28. I'd hurry if I were you.
Ugh, you're awful! I hope you never get a girlfriend.
That slam of the door, damn! We're calling the professor again.
Ashton.
Yes.
Not running today, Professor?
Oh, no, not today. Just thought I'd enjoy the nice weather before it takes a turn for the norm again. And to what do I owe the pleasure?
I was hoping to talk to you about the case.
You aren't in trouble, are you?
Well, I'm in a bit of trouble, if you can call it that.
Ashton.
But I'm not in danger or anything.
You've said that same excuse a million times before, Detective Inspector. That exhausted rasp in your voice tells a different story.
The exhausted rasp in my voice. Damn, that's specific.
It's nothing like what you're thinking. Don't worry. I was taken off the Luxborn for...
Is that so? Well, at least you aren't in danger. Liz wouldn't be too happy if she heard you right now.
Liz? Aunt Liz, she insisted I call her, his late wife. A sweet-tempered woman by so many standards, they were never blessed with kids and contented herself with simply managing their bakery. But she's the closest I had to her mom in the few years I had known her, the professor too.
Believe me, you'd get an earful. You don't want to show up at her doorstep looking like you haven't slept a wink either. You might think that you have failed as an officer. Or maybe you think that you have failed me. And you know more than anyone. I would love to see that man taken down. If anyone deserves to be tried in high court, it's him. But I'm glad nothing's happened to you while you were working on this. That's what's most important. I'd hate to get news like that again. It's not like another death. Yours or even his will bring back my wife.
I'm feeling a strange connection over here, man. Like a very strange connection.
I know your department. I'm not entirely sure if that has anything to do with the other. It seems too big even for someone like him. But if this is that man's doing...
Professor, please don't apologize. It's really alright. I can try to get it back on Monday when I meet with the chief. No promises, but if not, I'll make sure to keep an ear out for any news. Chief said he's passing it on to a senior officer. I should be able to catch a few tidbits every once in a while. But I swear I won't just give up on this. I'll do everything in my power to get Aunt Liz's case reopened for you.
Bring it now.
See? This is why I didn't want to tell you guys. It's not a joke. Will you guys listen to me first? I saw something in the house earlier. It stood right in front of me. If I hadn't gotten away, that thing might have...
Last night at the party.
But it's real! What do you think I saw? It happened after, when I was trying to get away. I almost got stuck in the same room with that thing. We're all in danger. I thought you were my friends. Why don't you believe me?
That woman.
Why don't we all calm down first? I'm sure Isabella has her reasons too. No need to be hard on her.
That was what Isabella had been warning us about. It was the same thing Rebecca talked about last night. How many of these instances have I dismissed since reading the letter? How many have I ignored and passed off as some effect of fatigue or lack of sleep? Even last night, hallucinogen lacing the food is the first thing I considered, purely because that's what my training dictates. It's a mindset I've grown used to. It's the setting the gear in my head automatically takes in a situation like that. Of course I'm not discounting all of that yet until I have enough information, something to form a conclusion from, proof in whatever for it may come. But thinking straight is impossible when all of a sudden all your beliefs are being upturned in the most violent way possible at that. Jesus, I need a sounding board. I need to talk to someone, and Zach's the best person for that.
I have to go, Professor.
Oh, no problem. But what are you...
I don't have time to stop and listen to what the professor has to say as I cut the call short.
Yeah, no, I don't, okay? But we should hurry. Come on.
Seriously, you look like you're about to fall over. Are you alright? Because if you're planning to faint right here, I won't be able to carry you.
Yes, don't mind me. I just remembered some stuff from last night. I need to talk to Z-Man about this. Mind if we drop by his place first?
Shouldn't we call him? To let him know? It's still pretty early, though we'd probably arrive there around noon. Also, what do you mean about this? Is Zach...
He was also there when I opened the letter, right? He read it too. I'm sure he's fine, but it wouldn't hurt to check on him. To make sure. See if he'll say the same things you told me yesterday.
If he's also been seeing things. If it's also the same woman I saw last night.
I'm not saying there's really a curse yet, but we have to look at this from every possible angle. And don't worry, he won't mind. He's probably just watching TV right now. Let's go.
Okay, but speak up if you're not feeling well. You really look like you're choking on something. You didn't have to do this for me in the first place.
You know it's not as simple as that.
Let's go! Let's see if Zach is alright. The last time, at the end of his story, he was in a jail cell, being confronted by the ghost. So, I don't know if he's alive, dead, whatever. Zach is here! A very exhausted looking Zach. What, did he run a marathon?
Sup, Z-Man?
Hey, Zach. Sorry we just barged in here. Ash was...
Relax. Z-Man gave me a copy of the key himself.
Well, the dreams, they're a lot worse than usual. There's a woman now. Ever since we saw that letter. I don't know if it's the same one Isabella talked about. Maybe it is, maybe it ain't. I really don't want to go back to sleep sometimes. Last night was the worst. Anyway, why are you asking about this?
Rose's death isn't just a coincidence, Zach. It may have something to do with... I may have...
Wait, stop right there for a sec, Bella. I thought you ain't buying this stuff, Ash. Just the other day, you said the exact same thing.
I still don't, but even Rebecca, out of all people, claims there's something. Whatever this is, someone has got to look into it. Everything about this screams shady.
That's right, this is the guy she saw. Man burned after room catches fire.
Found dead in the early hours of the morning today. The fire was contained within the room and no other tenants were harmed, according to Luxbourne police. A similar writing was found in another victim's room from last week's incident. Both were employees of Briar Realty Corporation. LBN has reached out to the...
Like what happened to Cooper.
It ain't too late. We could still fix this. There's 3 of us here.
Yeah, Zach! Alright, you guys, I think I'm going to leave the episode there. If you liked it, enjoyed it, don't hesitate to hit that like button, subscribe for some more content, and leave me some suggestions as well. Also, hit that bell so you can get notified every time I upload a video. I'm uploading video every day, daily, at least every day. And I always love to read you guys' comments. It's so wonderful, all the support and the likes and such. And please, let me know what you guys want me to play. I'm messing up the microphone here. But until then, have an awesome day, night in the gaming world. I'm going to see you guys next time.